Sorry, we will be covering now the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Let me just share the screen with you. Where are we? Yes. Okay. So we'll play this video and we'll start.
Time Warner Audiobooks presents Rich Dad, Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki with...
And so on that Saturday morning, Mike became my first business partner.
Okay. So let me just quickly unshare and okay. Right. So the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, we covered in the last session, where as we are reading through this book, then what this book is all about, what it tells is, so Robert Kiyosaki, we explained earlier that, he himself is a Japanese American, and he compares his own biological dad's teaching with his friend's dad, which he calls Rich Dad, his friend's dad, Mike's dad. And now he compares the teachings. It's a very, very powerful book. I mean, all of us, I mean, whoever wants to get into the journey of entrepreneurship, they need to understand understand and kind of try to implement the learnings from this book. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll cover now, we'll go to this book because we have already read or listened to this book for quite a kind of, I think we listened to it, for example, 10 minutes, I guess, already. So we'll play from there. But what we have already covered is Robert Kiyosaki. He has already, he starts this book saying that him and his friend, they started a venture by, after listening to his dad. That means Robert, he his dad encourages him, that to go and learn from Mike's dad about how to be rich. So then, Robert and Mike, they both go to the other person, that means Mike's dad, and he tries to explain. That means Mike's dad, who he calls Rich Dad, is trying to explain, how he can be rich. Okay, and his way of explanation is very different. That means he says that, okay, work for me, and he's giving him not a lot of money. And now Robert is not happy with the pay, and he doesn't even show up to see Robert, on the date of his appointment. And then Robert is really furious. He says that, okay, what's happening? Why you are ignoring, and you are not giving any time, and you are just exploiting me. And that is how then he says that this is your first lesson. I wanted to teach you. And the lesson what he's teaching is employment. It talks about, in an employment, you are always at the mercy of your employer, and you kind of, whatever is given to you, you accept it. And he says that, you try to, Robert tries to blame his friend's dad, his rich dad. He talks about that, he blames that, you don't pay me, or you don't kind of takes care, you don't take care of me. And that is what is teaching the lesson, that that in an employment, it's always you are at the mercy of your employer. So this is where the discussion goes. But let me then share the screen, then we'll go to the next kind of a chapter. We'll run to the 10th minute, then we'll start from there. Okay, and okay.
We spent all morning coming up with ideas on how to make money. Finally, that afternoon, our dreams were dashed. You mean this is illegal?
Okay, so let's go to. Okay, now we're didn't discuss about. Okay, we didn't discuss about this other bits as well, and that Robert and his friend Mike, they start a business, and the first business is they're melting the copper coins. Sorry, not the copper. I am sorry. The lead. It's a toothpaste. They're collecting the toothpaste tubes from different nearby homes, and then they're trying to melt those. And they're trying to make some coins out of it, and for them that is the way to make money. And money means literally just creating those coins. And his dad says that, hey, what are you guys doing? This is counterfeiting, and this is illegal. And that's what he starts to think that, okay, so what do we need to do? And this is where we'll now start to discuss about the next course of action, and how he's both of them are going to their kind of a dad to learn. Okay, so let me just share about that. Okay, so
Asked Mike. Yes, it is illegal, my dad said gently. But you boys have shown great creativity and original thought. Keep going. I'm really proud of you. Disappointed, Mike and I sat in silence for about 20 minutes before we began cleaning up our mess. The business was over on opening day. Sweeping the powder up, I looked at Mike and said, I guess Jimmy and his friends are right. We are poor. My father was just leaving as I said that. Boys, he said, you're only poor if you give up. The most important thing is that you did something. Most people only talk and dream of getting rich. You've done something. I'm very proud of the two of you. I will say it again. Keep going. Don't quit. Mike and I stood there in silence. They were nice words, but we still did not know what to do. So how come you're not rich, Dad? I asked. Because I chose to be a school teacher. School teachers really don't think about being rich. We just like to teach. I wish I could help you, but I really don't know how to make money. Mike and I turned and continued our cleanup. I know, said my dad. If you boys want to learn how to be rich, don't ask me. Talk to your dad, Mike.
So this is the most powerful one, because he's saying that Robert's dad is telling to Robert and Mike that, hey, if you want to be rich, then talk to to go and talk to Mike's dad. And that's how they go and they start to talk to and it's trying to convince both of them. They are going and trying to convince his dad, that means Mike's dad, to teach them how to be rich. And that is where they had a first lesson. So let me just share the screen. We will go through the first lesson what they had. Okay, so
If you can't make up your mind decisively, then you'll never learn to make money anyway. Take it, I said. Take it, said Mike. Good, said Mike's dad. Mrs. Martin will be by in 10 minutes. After I'm through with her, you ride with her to my superette, and you can begin working. I'll pay you 10 cents an hour, and you will work for 3 hours every Saturday. But
so this is the deal they are having, that 10 cents an hour, and then every Saturday is asking them to work.
I have a softball game today, I said. Mike's dad lowered his voice to a stern tone. Take it or leave it, he said. I'll take it, I replied, choosing to work and learn instead of playing softball. Fine.
So this is how he's paying his first price to learn from Mike's dad. Okay, so
Prepared. Even my real dad was angry with him. My real dad, the one I call the poor one, thought that my rich dad was violating child labor laws and should be investigated. My educated dad told me to demand what I deserve, at least 25 cents an hour. My poor dad told me that if I didn't get a raise, I was to quit immediately. At 8 o'clock Saturday morning, I was going through the same rickety door of Mike's house. "Take a seat and wait in line," Mike's dad said as I entered. He turned and disappeared into his little office next to a bedroom. I looked around the room and didn't see Mike anywhere. Feeling awkward, I cautiously sat down next to the same two women who were there 4 weeks earlier. They smiled and slid across the couch to make room for me. 45 minutes went by and I was steaming. The two women had met with him and left 30 minutes earlier. An older gentleman was in there for 20 minutes and was also gone. The house was empty, and I sat out in his musty, dark living room on a beautiful, sunny Hawaiian day, waiting to talk to a cheapskate who exploited children. I could hear him rustling around in the office, talking on the phone and ignoring me.
now Mike is kind of he's fuming, he's very very angry because so it's not Mike, sorry, Robert. He's very angry because I mean both the kids are learning, but this is the story, or the writer is Robert, and he talks about the ignorance. That means his dad. That means Mike's dad promised that both of the kids, he would be seeing them, but he's not giving any attention because he's busy at his work, and that is where he's complaining that it's not coming to
"What?"
see
I
them.
asked. Not understanding what he was saying, I continued with my grievance. "I thought you were going to keep up your end of the bargain and teach me. Instead, you want to torture me. That's cruel. That's really cruel." "I am teaching you," Rich Dad said quietly. "What have you taught me?" "Nothing," I said angrily. "You haven't even talked to me once since I agreed to work for peanuts. 10 cents an hour, huh? I should notify the government about you. We have child labor laws, you know. My dad works for the government, you know." "Wow," said Rich Dad. "Now you sound like most of the people who used to work for me. People I've either fired or they've quit. So what do you have to say?" I demanded, feeling pretty brave for a little kid. "How do you know that I've not taught you anything?" asked Rich Dad calmly. "Well, you've never talked to me. I've worked for 3 weeks and you've not taught me anything," I said with a pout. "Does teaching mean talking or a lecture?" Rich Dad asked. "Well, yes," I replied. "That's how they teach you in school," he said, smiling. "But that is not how life teaches you. And I would say that life is the best teacher of all. Most of the time, life does not talk to you, just sort of pushes you around. Each push is life saying, wake up. There's something I want you to learn.
So this is a very good lesson, about how we are being taught, or how we learn at a school, versus if you are willing to learn from life, then how would you do that? Learning from the life, it's the experiences, so how you learn. So yeah, we will stop here, and hope you are learning as well. So what we'll do is we'll start right from this far, how far we went, and yeah, so let's keep learning. With that, we're done.